And that is all about, scribble these down, safety, security, yeah, do them on the next page, safety, security, comfort. They're the main things around certainty. Safety, security, and comfort. Then we have variety. And variety is all about adventure, challenge, risk, and it's uncertainty. Adventure, risk, challenge, and uncertainty. Has everyone got them? Beautiful. Then we get significance, which is all about importance, feeling important, feeling wanted. Connection is all about love and connection. Who's got some good love and connection going on at the moment? With friends, with family, with another half? I can feel the connection in here. Some of you have been a little bit quieter than I would have hoped for. So maybe later we'll have a bit of a one-to-one chat so we can get a bit more connection going, because connection, why is that so key? Have a stab in the dark. Yep, you can put your shield down. What else? Why else would it be important connection?
Sticky, friendly relationship.
Yeah, it's humans function on connection. When we don't have connection, we're by ourselves, we're isolated, we're in survival mode when we've got no one to talk to and no one to be with and hang out with, no team to play sport with. It's like, it's very isolated when you're a one-man show. People need connection to be able to succeed in anything and everything. Connection's really key. Then these four are the physical needs. Then we've got a couple of spiritual needs, growth and contribution. Now, I went through this biggest phase of my life. I laugh now thinking back. During uni, I organised these fun runs and charity events, and I was totally into contribution. And it's because everything else was going on and ticking along, and I was able then to spend lots of energy in here. But sometimes when the petrol tanks in here are lower, this is where we stay hanging out and we don't get to do a lot more of these. But these spiritual needs need to still be met. How many of you are reading a book at the moment? Have a book on your bedside table? Is it a romance novel or is it something educational? Okay, one of each? Beautiful. Everybody needs to have an educational book beside their bed. To read a page a night, 10 pages, whatever. Have something that is about your learning and your growth. Now, in this day and age, it could be on your Kindle, could be on your iPad, you read it on your iPhone going to and from work. Could be the newspaper. Just by opening up and reading the newspaper, you are fulfilling your need for growth. Contribution is all about sharing. It's about giving. So it could be taking a meal to your neighbours. It could be doing the fun run, raising money for charity. What else is a great way to contribute? Volunteer work, absolutely. In a couple of weeks, we're taking 10 coaches. We're going out to Westmead Hospital to do a particular day. It's called Pamper the Parents. And historically, they've always had hairdressers, beauticians, massage therapists. And I said to the organiser of it all, who's my hairdresser, one day I said, oh my God, that'd be so cool if we could take out have a tent of life coaches. She goes, oh, that'd be a great idea. I said, I'll do it. All I knew was my why. I didn't know how I was going to actually make it happen, but I knew my why was really clear of why it was important. Because this is really, really important. That's a key need. And I wasn't fulfilling it. I wasn't even taking that cup of tea or anything, cakes across to my neighbour, my old neighbour anymore. There was no contribution going on. So that, you've got to fill this little petrol tank up as well. It's important too. So think of little ways that you can contribute. Fulfilling your need for contribution might also be more vocal in a meeting. Some of you have fulfilled your need for contribution tonight by being vocal and by giving to the room as well. That fulfills that need too. Now, all of these needs we meet resourcefully, in a great way, and then sometimes less resourcefully, in an unresourceful way that's not so great. So who's familiar with bullying in schoolyard, workplace environment, all of that? Yep. That is this in a really bad way. Unresourceful significance is the person that's got to go, I, me, all day long. And you're like, well, yeah, shut up now. Had enough of it? That is when their significance tank, here's the secret, it's actually so low that they get it externally by pumping themselves up, putting everybody else down. Getting a few nods, so you've had a few of those around you. And we can tend to do it on the days in conversation, communication, when we're not feeling so great. We pump ourselves up and may unconsciously, and this comes back to the conscious, unconscious, put others down without realising that we do it. That's how significance can play out. So this is a really important one to be aware of. The connection is all about love and connection. And those of you in the room that are driven mostly by connection, you'll know it, you'll feel it. Now, I'm more significance driven. My husband's more connection driven, so I'll let you in on a little secret. My child was sick the other night, and I was in the bathroom for half an hour sorting him out. Came back to bed, all I wanted was for Steve to say to me, Dal, are you okay? Is he all right now? Instead, he rolls over and wants to give me a hug. That was the connector trying to connect. And I'm like, you can imagine what I wanted to say. It wasn't real pleasant. Because I'm like, honey, I just want you to ask, how am I? None of that. So if you're significance driven, by having awareness around the fact that that drives you and that motivates you, that's cool, be okay with it. It's completely okay. But these pair off together and these pair off to you. How many have a feeling that you could be more certainty driven? That you must have certainty to get out of bed? Must have certainty to do what you do at work? You want to have certainty in what restaurant you're going to eat at every week. You eat at the same restaurant more regularly than not. A few nods on the certainty factor. Cool. Who's variety driven? Who loves, yeah, okay. And for those of you doing the adventure Tough Mudder, you've definitely got a pretty good petrol tank of variety going on because there's a lot of adventure, challenge and risk in doing that kind of event. So there is definitely a bit of that being ticked off for you at the moment. So the exercise that you can go home and do with your buddy is on the next page, and you'll see how you can have a play with it, where you have a little time to think. And I've given you some more detailed info about the needs there as well, but you can have a look at it and have a little play, and you can do it around all areas of life. You can do a big general version, or then you can break it down and have a conversation around, okay, let's talk about, pick a theme. What would you love to have a chat with your buddy around it? You're going to do career, relationships, work. Okay, so let's say you chose work. You go, how certain am I right now in my workplace? 2 out of 10? 10 out of 10? No, you can give me a random. That's the question that you then ask for certainty in a work topic. You then go, how's my need for variety being met at work at the moment? If I got like so much to do, I am just so bamboozled, it's a 10 out of 10. Like over the top, extreme. The ideal balance that you want to be in good balance is about 7 to 8 out of 10 for everything. Okay, if it's lopsided and you've got so much certainty, it's boring as all hell, okay, that's not really great for your general well-being either, is it? You need a little bit more spice in there. You know how they say variety is the spice of life? So this comes from as well. Need a little bit of variety. If you're a big person for needing certainty, you've got to embrace a bit of variety too. So you've got to embrace a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of adventure and challenge to think about what's possible. And that comes back to what we were talking about before around, you know, life is big, it's huge. So it's bite off a little bit of this, bit by bit, to see what's possible. I'm going to do a couple of quick testers and then we're going to call it a wrap for the night. Who would like to find out what their top 2 drivers are? Cool. All right, we're going to come back here. Lady, is that how I pronounce it? Yeah. Thank you. What's more important for you, certainty or variety?
Variety.
Variety, beautiful. What's more important, variety or significance? Significance or connection? Just trust what comes up for you straight away. Beautiful. So significance is your number one driver. Someone else write that down for her, please. Your number two, certainty or variety?
Variety.
Variety or connection?
Connection.
Connection or certainty?
Connection.
Beautiful. Your number two is connection. Does that sit for you?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Nice. Who's next? Who else wanted to have their drivers tested? Go for it, Sharon. What's more important to you, certainty or variety? Certainty or significance? Significance or variety? Significance or connection? Beautiful. So number one, significance. Number two, certainty or variety? Certainty or connection? Connection or variety? Beautiful. It's number two. Who else is up for it? Okay. Can you remind me of your name?
I'm Laura.
Laura, thank you. I have no glasses on tonight, hence I can't read your badge. I apologise. Go for it. Certainty or variety?
Certainty.
Certainty or significance?
Significance.
Significance or variety?
Significance.
Significance or connection?
Connection.
Okay. Connection or certainty?
Connection.
Okay, number one is connection. Number two, certainty or variety?
Certainty.
Certainty or significance?
Certainty.
Ah, here we go. We're mixing one up. So we've got a number one is connection and number two, certainty. Nice. Who else? Go for it. Can you remind me your name, please? Shireen. What's more important for you, certainty or variety?
Variety.
Variety or significance?
Variety.
Variety or connection?
Connection.
Okay, beautiful. Connection's number one. Actually, connections or certainty?
Connection.
Connection or variety?
Variety.
Yeah, I was checking that one because I feel like, yeah. Okay, variety or connection?
Variety.
Okay. And it's okay to be, it could go either way, but variety, one. So then, number two, certainty or significance? Significance or connection? Okay, variety and then significance. Nice one. We'll play with one more. Are we going okay with time? Just. Who's enjoying this? Yeah? Go for it. Yeah, you've been done. Who else wants to have theirs? Fire away. What's your name again?
Adriana.
Adriana. Beautiful name. Certainty or certainty?
Yeah.
Certainty or significance?
Certainty.
Certainty or connection? Beautiful. Now, variety or significance?
Significance.
Significance or connection?
Connection.
Okay, connection or variety?
Connection.
Nice. So certainty number one, connection number two. Which kind of makes sense because Adriana's been very quiet tonight and I've looked right at her and I've been trying to get some questions out, but she's not certain.
You're looking at me.
Yeah, no, but you can tell certainty sometimes holds you back from asking and potentially taking a risk or having a challenge around what you could possibly ask, which is all about the variety. So if you're certainty driven, more than less, you want to embrace a bit more risk, adventure, challenge, variety to spice up life. If you're significance driven, you want to start meeting your need internally for significance. I'm okay, I can do this, I am important, vis-a-vis searching for it externally and wanting to have it met by everybody else. For example, giving you a few personal ones here, I was always asking my hubby for compliments. Like, come on babe, do I look all right? Do I look all right? Instead of just going, I look fabulous, that's meeting it internally vis-a-vis wanting it externally around significance. In a workplace, significance takes a lot of impact when, let's say you're presenting or you're in a meeting and you're having a discussion and it's, I want this and you need to do this. Instead of using the I language and the you language, use we language. We need to do this because we'll be able to achieve X, Y, Z. Far more powerful and less about that individually, either for them or you. The we is much more powerful. However, if you know you have a significance-driven boss, what are you now known to do? Say it out louder.
You.
Meet his need for significance or her need. If someone is significance-driven, acknowledge it. Really appreciate your time. I need to have a chat. That's immediately hit that button on the head. How are you going? Love to have a chat. Have you got 10 minutes? That how are you going is far more impactful for someone that's connection driven than the significance driven. It's very subtle. Is it kind of fun?
What would you say to variety?
To variety.
Oh, let's go to the top.
Yeah, variety is, okay, so if you're in a relationship or not, variety is not going to the same restaurant every Friday night and ordering the same meal. Variety is sitting at, when someone's sitting channel surfing, they're meeting their need for variety by channel surfing with the gadget instead of just sitting and watching one show. They've got to watch 3 in a night. It happens.
Can I ask, if there's certain varieties
Yep.
that, you know how you do the hots? You know,
The hot buttons.
no, the hots. Have you ever done the hots test?
Haven't heard of the HOTS test.
Hare, owl, tortoise. No?
Far away though.
Well, like a hare, owl, tortoise, and squirrel.
Yep.
And you have personality driven, so realistically, that's kind of personality driven as well.
Mm.
With the certainty, significant might be like a hare. A hare jumps to the point, jumps in, goes.
Yep.
It's doing where certainty might be a squirrel, where they really like to pick it apart, pull it, know what they have to do,
Yep.
know where they're going. Where an owl, tortoise, owls or hare, owl or tortoise, maybe be variety or connection
Yep.
between those two, but they're not certain, but they're not significance driven. They're in the middle of the two.
Yep. These overlay into the majority of personal development tools that are out there. Really important. So DISC, if anyone's done their DISC or eDisc, same, they overlay really beautifully. If we have a look back here at our extraordinary model, what do you think, what needs could be sitting where here? Contribution and connection. What about down here? What do you reckon could go in there? Yes, you are spot on. Variety, because it's all about results. It's the choices. What options do I have in front of me? It's definitely variety gets met down there. That's great. And what else? Actually, significance down here, because you've got to know what's important and you've got to feel important to be able to get results. You've got to have your own petrol tank full to feel like I can go and do this to achieve this. And be quite clear there. So you do need the significance in there.
Wouldn't that be a B?
Sorry, a B. Yeah. It fits up there as well. So the important ones for the being are significance and what else? I like having 2 in each of these. Connection. And why do you reckon connection fits in there when it's all about who you're being? Others and self. The most important person in the world that you can connect with at any given time is yourself. Big fan of mental health days. Have taken them over the years because the petrol tank is empty. And I had to reconnect with self. Mental health days are a bit limited now with kids on the scene. So you're my mental health evening, getting to come and hang out here. But it's all about connecting with self and others to know who you need to be. And let's have a quick look at do. What do you need in here? Or growth, and I liked certainty in there. The reason being, to get doing stuff, you do need a little bit of certainty then to keep moving and knowing you're doing and going in the right directions. How are you finding that? What have you learned? What did you notice and what would you like to share? Come on, who do you need to be right now to answer my questions?
I think once you know kind of what your strengths are, that it will be easier to make decisions in the future, knowing that if you can break things down and prioritise things and then kind of learn to a bit more, just like trust your instinct a little bit more instead of trying to overthink things and get stuck in a bit of a rut.
Yep. So when you're trying to overthink things, you can sometimes be meeting your need for significance unresourcefully. That can be a pattern. That's then meeting it in a negative way by dwelling on all of the stuff and rehashing a meeting or rehashing a conversation you had that didn't go well. You're unresourcefully meeting this and just going over it and over it and over it. Who has that mental movie that just replays and replays? Yeah. I used to do so much of it, and it was me giving myself this vis-a-vis connecting and going, hey, it's happened, it's done, I've learnt X, Y, Z out of it, I need to move forward. My puddles on the floor now, I call them, the puddles on the floor are those moments where you just like go to tears and it's all pretty bad. They are much smaller, much, much smaller now around awareness and using these. Because I go, oh, just give it to myself in a cool way, in a good way, resourceful way by doing this. Connect with myself. You know,
Sorry.
Go for it.
Is this something that you can overcompensate for if you're potentially either consciously or unconsciously not getting fulfilled in other areas that you then...
Definitely. So an addiction is meeting 3 of these needs. Gambling, alcohol, sex, drugs, whatever it is, it's meeting 3 needs at any one time. So if you really like to go and hit the bottle on a Friday night and go out to a lot of different nightclubs, you're probably meeting variety, significance and connection. But depending on what drives someone, they meet others as well. So we do, definitely. So it's awareness. You just ask yourself in that given moment, am I connecting with myself right now? Or is it my little moment of significance? Have a play with it. Enjoy it. Would anyone like to ask any questions to wrap up, or you're all good?
Is there any way you can go online to see you talk a bit more about things?
I think we need to do a bit more, but we'll have a chat with Kenya and the team, because tonight, I mean, there's like so much to cram in. Lots more to share. Lots more to share. Say that in.
I said I love the passion that you drive behind in giving us the information that you've given us.
Cool. Well, I'll share you my why. When I started out, my goal was to change one person's life a day. That's it. That could have been a chat I had with a girlfriend. It could be delivering one one-on-one coaching session. My why now is bigger because I know the impact that I can make, because I'm a significance driven, okay? And I know the impact that by me teaching it to you, you go home and teach other people in your life, who then teach people in their life, who then teach people in their life. Your company improves. Your relationship could improve. Because some of you can go home and have conversations tonight that you've never had before with special people in your life. If you haven't got a special person in your life, you now know what you need to be doing. Because if you're meeting your need for certainty, sitting home expecting him to come and knock on the door, or her, you've got to embrace your own variety and go, right, how am I now going to go out and meet people? What risk that I might meet some duds first, and I've done the duds before I found Steve, trust me, that's embracing your variety. Lots of duds, lots of RSVP, that's a whole nother night's conversation and a few red wines. All right, we really better wrap it up. It has been an absolute pleasure meeting you all. Thank you very much for your time. I would love to, I'll be back of the room. I don't have to rush home to the kids, I've got a night off. So if anyone wants to ask more questions, have a chat, please come to the back of the room and I would love to hang out some more. Thank you very much, and thank you to Young ATEC for having me as well.